Hey guys, this is Michelle from Virtual Hand Care, and in this video, I'm going to show you 5 hand exercises you can do with your mallet finger splint on. So if you're healing from a mallet finger injury, maybe you're in that 6 to 8 week time frame and you're just wondering what you can do, or maybe your other fingers are also getting really stiff from not being able to use your hand normally. Well, luckily there are some exercises that you can do while you're wearing your mallet finger splint. Now, before we dive in, make sure you grab my free mallet finger starter kit where I share 5 tips for a successful recovery. You'll find the link here. So I will be doing these exercises with the splints on all the fingers so that you can get a better idea of what they might look like for you depending on which mallet finger that you have. Also very important to make sure you do have your splint on your finger when you are doing exercises if you are still in that healing process of a mallet finger injury. And of course, quick disclaimer, always make sure that you get approval from your doctor before you start these exercises or any kind of exercise program. Okay, exercise number 1. This one is knuckle benders. So to do this one, you want to straighten your fingers up as much as you can. And then you want to only flex or bend your large knuckles or your MP joints. And I like to place my hand here in the palm just to make sure I'm not kind of moving at the wrist. So you want to come down and up, and down and up, and down and up. And you would want to do about 10 of these exercises just to make sure that these large knuckles are not getting stiff. And as you can see, there's really no strain on the fingers because you're not bending with this one. Okay, exercise number 2 is passive motion to the PIP joints of the mallet finger. So this is actually stretching the middle joint of the finger that has the mallet finger. So I'll go ahead and show you a few repetitions on each finger so you can see what that looks like. Now you can do this exercise kind of propped up at a table, or you can do it resting your hand down. I'm going to show you resting the hand down just because I think that's a lot more comfortable for you. So to do this exercise on your index finger, you would want to take your other hand and support around that splint and just lightly bend at that middle joint, at that PIP joint, and hold a few seconds and then back up. And again, lightly bend down and back. Now if it's your middle finger, same thing, providing that external support and lightly bending just that middle joint, just that PIP joint. We're not bending all the way down either yet. We're really just focusing on the PIP joint and then straightening. And then bend and straighten. And then if it's your ring finger, same thing. Bending. You don't want to push too far and then potentially have your splint push up. You really want to make sure that splint is supporting your fingertip. So you just bend to what you can do and straighten. And bend and straighten. And then same thing with the small finger, providing some nice support and trying to bend at that PIP joint or that middle joint and back. Exercise number 3 is PIP blocking. So now we're actually going to actively bend that middle joint of the finger that has the mallet finger splint on. The last exercise we stretched it out by doing a passive PIP stretch. So now that joint should be a little loosened up so you can do a little bit more active movement with that. Now keep in mind when you're doing any kind of active movement into that PIP joint, you really don't want to be flexing too hard. We're not looking to have that splint shift and move around at all. We don't want to disrupt any of that really important healing that is happening at the tip of the finger. Okay, so to do this one, you can either do it propped up on your elbow or you can rest your hand down on a table. I'll go ahead and show you both ways. So to do this exercise to your index finger propped up, you would then block right below the PIP joint here using your other hand, and then you want to just lightly bend and straighten. We're looking to just keep these other fingers straight and only bend just that PIP joint, that middle joint. Then if it's your middle finger, again, you would block right below that PIP joint here, or that middle joint. And then again, nice and lightly, try to actively come down and back up. And then ring finger, down and up. And then small finger blocking right below the PIP joint, down and up. Now, an alternative way to do this blocking exercise is to lay your hand flat and use your other hand to block the other fingers from bending. If you actually block the tips of the fingers next to your mallet finger, then your finger will be less likely to bend at that tip because they're all conjoined down in the same muscle. And then to do the middle finger, you would block the index, ring, and small. And then you would just try to lightly come down actively with that PIP joint. And then to do same thing with the ring finger, you would block the index, middle, and small, and then lightly bend at the ring finger. And then same thing with the small finger. You would block all the fingers except for the small finger and try to curl down. Now, for some people, this might be difficult to do because there is a small part of the population that actually doesn't have an FDS tendon. So your motion might look like this when you are trying to do that exercise. So really, it just depends on your anatomy, whether you can do this exercise to the small finger or not. Okay, exercise number 4 is called a straight fist. So a straight fist is when you bend the knuckles and bend the PIP joints only, but you leave your DIP joints as straight as you can. So we're gonna go ahead and do a straight fist on our hand that has the mallet finger. So to do this one, bend at the knuckles, and then you lightly try to bend at your PIP joints. Now, say your mallet finger is of the middle finger, then your straight fist would look something similar to this, making sure that the fingers next to it, the index and ring finger, are nice and straight. This is not a tight type of fist. You're not looking to come down and really clench. You're just nice and lightly trying to bend down that MP and that PIP so you can at least get a little bit down into a nice light fist. Okay, exercise number 5 is passive range of motion to the uninvolved fingers. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the mallet finger splint on my middle finger to show you this exercise, but you're going to do this stretch to your uninvolved fingers. So the fingers that don't have any mallet finger splint on. So because a mallet finger can limit the full range of motion of the fingers next to it, what you want to do is passively stretch all the way down into the palm with those uninvolved fingers, because you're probably finding you can't quite flex all the way down. So to keep those uninvolved fingers nice and loose, you're gonna go ahead and curl down at all 3 joints and try to curl down into your palm as much as you can. And back up. And so then if your ring finger is not the mallet finger, then you would again curl and wanna stretch down into your palm. And then if your small finger is not the mallet finger, you would want to, again, keep that nice and loosened up as far down in your palm. So you're wanting to make sure you're bending at your MP, your PIP, and that DIP joint of all of your uninvolved fingers. You would want to go through each of those fingers and do a good 5 to 10 repetitions of those. And if your thumb is also feeling stiff, like it's just not getting that normal motion, then you would also want to stretch that thumb across your palm and keep that nice and mobile as well. So whatever fingers don't have the mallet finger splint, you're gonna stretch those as much as you can. If you found this video helpful, do please give it a like, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. And don't forget to grab my mallet finger recovery kit, where I share 5 tips for a successful recovery. You'll find the link here. Thanks for watching.